Good morning, daughter. Good morning, friends and family. My question today is in Psalms 8, verse 5, it states that man is made just a little lower than the angels. My question is are animals much lower than us? Well, not really. But in comparison to angels, the, the space between angels and man is a certain distance. Though the animals are not very different from us, we are definitely in Psalms 5, 8 and 5, we are definitely have dominion over them. The angels do not have dominion over us. So maybe the chasm between man and the angels may be this, but the chasm between man and animals would be much wider. But they are to be treated with respect and love, for they hold many of our attributes, all of them, frankly. Haven't you seen a bear being, the little cub being trapped by a trap on the leg? How it just, it's absolute agonizing to that little, the mother and the bear, obviously the baby. But the mother, if, and I've seen this on videos, where animals will seek out people's help, from white sharks to bears to lions. They will seek moose, dangerous animals, but they become docile and they come pleading and realizing that man can help them, and they do. I've seen a video where this huge white shark, must have been 30 feet, probably 4 ton, was wrapped in wire, and this man came and painstakingly removed the wires. And from that day forth, that white shark swam next to his boat, and from that day forth, they were friends. My personal experience, and this is deep, when I go to tread water in the pool, anything that moves, if I see a vibration, I will rescue it and send it out of the water. I did that for a wasp one time, and this wasp had such an amazing response that I know there's a God in heaven. Now, what happened was the wasp was floundering and getting weaker by the moment. I came up to it. I must have looked like a ship because I moved slowly upon it. I must have looked like an aircraft carrier as he looked up. I did a quick push. In midair, he regained his wings and he flew and he hovered in front of me. I am not a man that flinches. He hovered this far from me and he looked me in the eye for 8 to 10 seconds. He hovered and I returned his look for 8 to 10 seconds. To me, it was a profound experience. He simply looked at me and hovered. He held his hover for 8 to 10 seconds, and then he flew away. And that was his way of saying, thank you. And I returned his look saying, you're welcome. A true story. Anyway, so animals are no different than man in many attributes. And there are wicked animals too. But if you look at certain kinds of animals, they can only be so good or so wicked. For example, a cow cannot be more evil or good than a dog. A dog is more evil or good than a cow. A man is more evil or good than a dog. And a genius is more evil and good still than man, an average man. And supernatural principalities like Satan and Jesus, more so. Now, I'll be quick. I want this video to be short. Now, it says in verse 5, Psalms 8, for you have made him a little lower than the angels, and you have crowned him with glory and honor. Because we have fallen, the angels never have, we get a certain amount. We have the capacity, that light, to be recognized differently because we've gone through it, for those of us who survive it. I'm going to continue to verse 8. You have made him to have dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under his feet. So your hands. It is your hands. Yes. The works of whose hands? God's hands, the Creator. So you have made him have dominion over those things that the author is declaring that you've created. And we do. Animals know not to. Animals know that we are, though we are weak and vulnerable, we are chiefs of this world. In India, the population will wear a human face mask on the back of their heads because they know that lions will not attack a person straight on. They attack from behind, and it is an effective defense. The animals have an understanding. Now, when it says all have dominion, all the works of your hands, and then it goes into description. It says all sheep and oxen, even the beast of the field, the birds of the air, and the fish of the sea that pass through the paths of the seas. So, we have dominion of this world. Adam was the god of this world until he fell. And animals are lovely. Haven't you ever seen the giraffe kiss the little top of the baby? The picture of that? Absolutely moving. And the Lord takes great pleasure. He gets personal relief when we go to rescue those who are helpless, those little animals with so many attributes of loyalty and love and courage. What dog would not run against a grizzly bear to protect its owner, knowing full well that its life is about to be sacrificed? What animal? Animals are beautiful, beautiful things, creatures, creations, and they are lower than us. And the vastness of it is a little wider than between us and the angels. And isn't it wonderful that we share a world? And think of this. Are these animals given a memo? That which is correct and not correct? Does a dog know when it's being scolded out of cruelty or out of correctness? And the dog will look embarrassed if it piddles on the carpet and it's rebuked. It'll look like this. It'll be looking very guilty, ashamed, bashful. Hopefully that owner will only do that but for a moment, and then to embrace the little animal, to encourage it. But how many times has a horse been knows that it's being scolded out of cruelty or evil as opposed to correctness? Or a baby. How does a baby know, being that it knows nothing? How does it know that it's being loved? Or how does it know it's being neglected? Is it some memo that they all have received? No, it's the Holy Spirit that lives in them. The Holy Spirit tells them this is wrong or this is right. And in this way, sometimes the animals and babies have much clearer vision than us, for we cloud the Holy Spirit's messages to us unless we are attuned to listen. So animals, they're a lovely, lovely, lovely creation that God has created. And are there evil ones? Yes. Just like man, but not nearly as devastating. If you've enjoyed this and if you agree with my thoughts, share to other people that I cannot reach, and have a wonderful, wonderful Sabbath, everyone. Goodbye.